K2030 was never the end, it was only the beginning. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to I Speak What I Like. My name is Sikumbo. I think we will. If you're new, please smash that sub, like the video.
Late nights, city lights, I'm carving out my lane. Every step, every dream, I rise above the pain. Late nights, city lights.
We came here on the 11th of June. We submitted a memorandum to Western Cape government complaining about the illegal foreigners occupying jobs using the limited resources of this country. And we said that people who are benefiting hugely from these illegal foreigners are these politicians. Yeah. They are the ones who are in cahoots with business people employing illegal immigrants. Yeah. So we came here for solemnly to fetch our response. It has been past 14 days.
For peace, we pray for the dignity of all who live in our land. We ask you to keep us safe. We ask you to keep us divided. And most of all, we ask you to allow us to find each other in the difficult challenges that we are facing today.
Well, the question is, in human dignity, what they mean? Compassion and justice to who? Because I believe that justice is keeping the law, is making sure that the laws of the country are enforced. So if they say justice, what they mean about justice?
Xenophobic, we are patriotic, we support our country, we're not xenophobic. Our why with life, children away! Our why with the sexual abuse of children away!
There's an influx of illegal foreigners. So we submitted the memorandum to tell them that we are sick and tired of this thing. This issue has been raised nationally, but the Western Cape government, it seems as if they are relaxed when it's coming to this issue. So now we gave them 4 days to respond to this memorandum, but up until today, they never responded to the memorandum. So we decided to come here today to demand answers. Because if you remember, today is the 30th of June. Nationally, it has been promised that 30th of June should be a deadline for all illegal foreigners to pack their bags and go.
Maybe some of the things that we need to actually correct as far as March and March in season of Bunzizwa, the South Africans calling the illegal immigration to leave the country. We need to emphasize on the matter that South Africans are calling out to government to keep their laws. Basically, we are saying as citizens, practice what you preach. Because it is the government that actually draft these laws. It is them who vote for these laws. It is the executive that signs these laws and passes them. And also, the executive and the judicial branches has a role to ensure that those same laws are being enforced. So the South Africans now are calling out to the judicial branches, to the executive, that these same laws that you guys drafted, you guys signed for, you guys voted for and signed for, and passes, enforce those same laws. And the law in question here is the immigration law, the Immigration Act in South Africa, and that Immigration Act 13 of 2002. On its core objective, that very same law, it says, or it act This act was designed to establish streamlined, balanced, and global competitive immigration systems that secures borders, that ensures that the state security and sovereignty are maintained while tracking all entries and exit of its official ports of entry. That's what that law says. It also simplifies the procedures. It provides objective criteria and straightforward processes for the issuance or issuance of visas and permanent residence permits for those that are coming in and out of South Africa. And it promotes economic growth. It accommodates foreign investors, business owners, and skilled workers to benefit the local economy. Not from the local economy, but to benefit the local economy. It's very, very important to understand that this particular law promotes economic growth. It accommodates foreigners, investors, and business owners, and skilled workers to benefit the local economy, not to benefit from the local economy. That's the law. That's the law that the South Africans are saying to the government: keep your laws, practice what you preach. There are types of visas and types of permits that this law speaks of. The legislative provides provisions of various legal entries, primarily divided into two. That is a temporary resident visas and permanent residence permit. If we look at the temporary residence visas, those authorize short, medium-term stays, including visas, relative visas, and study visas, and the critical skill work visas. That is temporary residence visas. It covers all that. Let me repeat it. It covers short and medium-term stays that include visitor visas, relatives visas, study visas, and critical skill work visas. And then number two, the permanent resident permits. And that is granted to individuals who meet continuous residency requirements, such as those holding a work permit for 5 years, spouses of South African citizens, or individuals with exceptional skills. Those are two types of permits that we have in the country and visas that we have in the country: the permanent residence permit and also the temporary residence visas. But also both these visas has regulations pertaining why you should get this specific visa. There are key legal distinctions here: foreigners versus refugees, and also undocumented foreigners. Foreigners, I'm talking about legal foreigners and refugees, and also undocumented illegal foreigners. Now, for foreigners and refugees, the Immigration Act strictly applies to foreigners, while asylum seekers and refugees are governed under the separate legislative framework, the Refugees Act of 130 of 1998. And then undocumented illegal foreigners, the Act prescribes strict processes, including arrest, number one, detention, number two, and deportation for individuals residing or working in the country without proper legal authorizations. And this part here, this legal distinction here, the part where it speaks to undocumented illegal foreigners, where the Act prescribes strict promises or processes that include arrest, that include detention, and deportation of those individuals residing or working in the country without proper authorization. South Africans are begging the government, through all these marches that's been happening until today, the 30th of June, that enforce this same law. We need to see these people getting arrested. We need to see them being in detention and also deported from the country, because they are working and residing in the country without proper legal authorizations that all South Africans are crying for. Now, I do understand that the Act itself is administered alongside various amendments, such as Immigration Act 13 of 2011 and later regulation, which, with the recent updates, includes the ongoing rollout of the electoral or electronic travel authorization (ETA) systems and implementation of updated employment policies to manage foreign labor quotas in specific sectors. I do understand that, but the fact or the issue of this whole thing that's happening within the country, as you see the marches that are going on in the country, peaceful marches, to be specific, because they've been peaceful throughout the country. There are few instances where there's minor issues or minor problems as far as criminal activities are concerned, but the majority of this campaign has been peaceful. And we actually need to give a round of applause to people who actually are leading all these campaigns. We're speaking about Tungizwa Mtunu, we're speaking about Pagano Mtagati, and the lady of the times, Jacinta Ngobes. We actually need to actually speak highly of them for ensuring that these marches are conducted, but they are conducted peacefully. A big shout out to Insizwa Nomtsizwa, which is the foundation of Pagano Mtagati, and the work that they do. The fact that the brother can actually lead tens of thousands of men, and they do that from city to city, and there are no violent conduct everywhere they go. You should actually admire and respect him. You should admire and respect him. Now, why am I saying South Africans are calling the government to actually practice what they preach? It is because I've said that it is the government who makes the laws. It is the government who makes the laws. It is the government who passes the laws. And the same government structures are to enforce those laws. And South Africans are saying, practice what you preach. Practice what you preach. Now, there's a term that is being used all over the world as far as these marches are concerned. South Africans are labeled xenophobic or Afrophobia and all those terms. And I've seen some of the marches by certain individuals in Cape Town. I saw white people actually with boards that says they are welcomed, the illegal immigrants are welcomed in Cape Town, and such and such. But concerning that, I would say, in most cases, it is to speak from a position of privilege, because you are not in tune with what's happening on the ground. Sometimes, if you have no idea what happens with those who have not. And seeing those pictures coming from Cape Town, I understood that they are speaking from a privileged position where they have no idea what happens to regular South Africans. When if South Africans are urging the government to actually implement its laws, to actually enforce its laws, to make sure that illegal immigrations or illegal immigrants, illegal foreigners within the country, regardless of whether you're black, white, green, orange, or purple, should be arrested, should be deported. If they are residing or working in the country without proper legal authorization, they should be arrested and deported. And then there are people who says no, they are welcome. Oh, they are welcome. They are welcome. These people are saying that the government is okay if the government doesn't uphold its own laws. That's what they are saying. And that is speaking from a position of privilege, because every ills and social ills that other South Africans are crying about does not affect these certain people, because they are from gated communities. And some South Africans aren't. And they have struggles that they face every day regarding illegal immigration. Let's say these illegal immigrants go to Cape Town on those gated communities and settles there. Same problems that the majority of South Africans are crying about will soon appear there. And whatever you thought you knew now changes, because now we are experiencing exactly what the rest of the country has been experiencing. Now, if I had power to actually authorize and grant their wishes, I would say the illegal immigrants should go there and reside alongside these white people who said no to discrimination of immigrants. Just illegal immigrants go there and stay there probably for 2 years, just for 2 years, so that these people will experience it to the core what it means. Now, the first issue will be, where are they going to stay in those gated communities? Because these people say they are welcome. If they go to those gated communities, number one, where they will stay, unless they are willing to open their homes and welcome them in and feed them and do everything for them, adopt them into their houses, that will make sense. That's why I'm saying it's easy sometimes to speak from a position of privilege. Now, South Africa now is identified or is labeled xenophobia. Number one, it doesn't make sense, because if you look at the word itself, xenophobia, it's the Greek word xenophobos. Xenos, stranger, phobos, fear. It's the fear of strangers. It's a fear of strangers. So if they actually try and explain this way, they said it's irrational fear. We do not fear immigrants, number one. It's dislike. That's not correct. We do love immigrants. It's hatred. We do not hate them. We love them. People from other countries, we love them. We love their cultures as well. So this stranger fear, xenophobos, does not apply to this case, because in this case, South Africans are saying, government, enforce your own laws. Practice what you preach. That's what the South Africans are saying. Practice what you preach. Enforce your own laws. Keep your own laws. And the fear of strangers doesn't apply into this instance, because the problem here is not immigrants per se, but it's illegal immigrants. They say xenophobia operates as a prejudice and involves other groups based on background, identity, appearance, or common expression, etc., etc. Systematic discrimination, marginalization, or denying access to housing, jobs, or social services. That's not the case here. The case here is illegal immigration. Everything else, nobody cares about that. As long as everybody are documented and have correct paperwork to be within the country, it's okay. Nobody has a problem with that. But the illegality of immigration is a problem, because it comes with all types of social ills that cannot be fixed. If somebody break into your house and then the police come and actually take the samples of their fingers, and find out that this actual person does not exist and we cannot find him anywhere, what would you then say? You would say the police are not doing their job. But not that police are not doing their job. It's because you said you welcome illegal immigration within the country. So these white people in Cape Town really do not know what they are asking for. Until an illegal immigrants break into their house, take whatever, and then the police comes and find DNA samples. But those DNA samples cannot be traced to nobody because that person is non-existent. The system cannot track him or her. That's why I said earlier it's easy to speak from a position of privilege. Well, it's been peaceful all over the country, particularly KZN, because in KZN we've been regarded as rogue people. I don't know why, but if you look at today's events, I didn't hear one incident that happened in KZN. There were isolated incidences that happened in Johannesburg, particularly by Hillbrow, but nothing in the province of KZN so far. Another thing that's happened is the president of the country, the first statesman, President Cyril Ramaphosa, invited Phakalo Mthakathi and also Ngizwa Mchunu, according to the sources last night, and also Phakalo Mthakathi actually agreed to that. That they did indeed met with the president, but he has said that whatever they discussed with the president will be the part of what he's going to actually say regarding the marches that's been happening against illegal immigration in the country. Part of the things that he said these marches, the successes of these marches, were part of the answer of some of the things that he discussed with the president. So we will wait for tomorrow at 3 p.m. SAST time and hear what he has to say, and also get to hear what they've discussed with the president. Hopefully we will hear also from the president's side not long from this moment on what's going to happen. But also there's an interministerial committee that was actually created by the president himself to actually deal with this very issue, and that include the police, the Department of Justice, and the Department of Home Affairs, and other stakeholders involved that actually play part in ensuring that the Immigration Act is actually respected and held up to the standard. They've also spoken very, very well that they are not against the legal marching, because South Africans have the right to actually march. They have the right to do so as long as it's peaceful and it does not involve criminal activities. And they say they support it, and they spoke highly of the fact that the law was upheld during the day, and the work that the police did put on during the course of the day to ensure that there was safety amongst every city where there were these peaceful marches that were going on in the country. So I wanted to actually speak on those things. Number one, that xenophobia doesn't apply to the situation in South Africa, and to actually explain that South Africans are actually speaking to the government to say, practice what you preach, keep your own laws. That's all they say. Practice what you preach and keep your own laws. You are the one who create these laws. You are the one who vote for them. You are the one who passes them, and you are the one who's supposed to uphold the same laws. We are asking you to do exactly that. We voted for the government to do exactly that, and the people that voted the government into power are calling the same government into action to do the work they were elected to do. Thank you. Kamalami Ngusipho Ndlovu. This is I Speak What I Like. I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to smash that sub, and also tell us what you think regarding the things that we're discussing, and also check out our other videos. Don't forget to share our content, and also look out for the next content that we drop on this channel. Thank you.